Hey guys, so today I'll be talking to you about my Rolls-Royce Modes promotional app assignment for Digital Technologies. The first section of this assignment is about the exploring part. So it's the project plan, the mind map, existing solutions, the screenshots of the existing solutions, the success criteria, and the user profile. My project plan. So this is a plan of what I aim to do each day for this assignment. So on the first day, I wanted to do this project plan and then start the mind map. Then I worked on the existing solutions, success criteria, functionality, wireframes, and then for the next 9 days, I worked on my code. And on the final day, I worked on the evaluation. So this is a mind map of what I aim to do in this assignment. So I've started off with the Rolls-Royce promotional app, and so we'll talk about the user first. So I need to address the user needs, the user wants, and I also need to take into consideration the user abilities and their knowledge. And these new user needs and wants need to be able to be used through the accessibility. These are my success criteria here. And so this is the purpose of my app. So to allow the users to create their own custom Rolls-Royce car, to promote Rolls-Royce, and to provide information on what Rolls-Royce is about. Moving on to functionality, there's two parts to the functionality. There's the customization part and the information part. So the first part of the information is about the links and contacts. So there'll be Instagram links, website links, and Facebook. And then there'll also be the car types and prices, and there's a list of each of the cars there, as well as general information about the app. The customizations part leads into multiple parts. The first part is when you choose the car type and the color, and then you choose the upgrades, and then once combining all of those, you get the extra upgrades and the final cost of the car. So here I'll analyze the existing solutions for my app. So currently there is an existing solution on the Google Play and App Stores called Rolls-Royce Whispers. The Whispers app grants Rolls-Royce owners access to a created world beyond. It is one of the most exclusive members apps in the world and is reserved solely for the Rolls-Royce owners. As my app is not an exclusive app, my app will bring many more users to the world of Rolls-Royce. So the pros of this existing solution is that it makes the Rolls-Royce owners feel exclusive and special. It's an app that's very secure and has many features like car design, magazines, Rolls-Royce updates and news, and a unique perspective into the world of Rolls-Royce. However, it is an exclusive app, so only very few people can get it, as only very few people in the world actually own a Rolls-Royce. And this app is only about their car models, and they have nothing about their airplane engines, and it isn't an app that people will keep coming back to as it only offers limited features. So using this app, I will configure and design my app so that it appeals to a larger audience and so that it's much more enjoyable for the people who download this app. This way, more people will be coming back to my app to use it. So here's some screenshots of the existing solutions of the app called Rolls-Royce Whispers. Success criteria. My first success criteria has this app met the client's needs? I will go into detail in this further, but so far, yes, it has. My second success criteria is this solution new and unique compared to other apps? And yet, as I'll explain a bit later, yes, it has. And the third success criteria is this an app that people will enjoy and keep coming back to? And I'll explain this again a bit later, but yes, it has. User profile. So the general app user information. So the users of this app are people who are interested in buying a Rolls-Royce car or people who enjoy looking at Rolls-Royce cars. This app will be useful to the user group as it provides a new experience into the world of Rolls-Royce. An example user of this app. John King, who is age 40 and is married, lives in Sydney CBD, and he is the CEO of the Myer Group. He enjoys driving and collecting luxury cars, and John would benefit from this app as he is interested in buying a Rolls-Royce, and this is a perfect way for him to experience the world of Rolls-Royce. Section 2, Developing. So in this section, I'll be talking about the functionality of my app and the wireframes. Functionality of this app. In this app, there are multiple aspects that consolidate to create a functioning mobile app that serves the client's needs and wants. This app has two parts. First, the customization abilities, and second, the information. The table below highlights the main features included in each part of the app. So for the customizations, there will be a color changing screen, car selection screen, and an extra upgrade screen. All of these screens will have options that can add costs to the final purchase price of the car. Each screen will give you the total cost of the price so far, and the price that you have spent in this specific upgrade sector. There will also be a final quote screen which summarizes the total cost of the upgrades. And the information part of this app. So this information part of this app will have the Rolls-Royce origins and the general information about Rolls-Royce. It'll talk about why Rolls-Royce is superior and the types of cars that Rolls-Royce produce. It'll also talk about the types of airplane engines that Rolls-Royce produce. It'll have links to Rolls-Royce website and other social media pages. It'll give you information about the Rolls-Royce store locations, and it will also have a T's and C's section. So the app wireframes. So this first wireframe is about the terms and conditions and the welcome screen. So this is the button for the user to view the terms and conditions, and this is a survey that can be used to improve the app based upon user feedback, and the agree button is purely for functionality. So this second part of the app, this second wireframe is about the accessibility part of the app for the information and for what section you're going to go into. So here is information about the app for the user's benefit, and there's accessibility for go back. There's a customization button for accessibility and information button for accessibility, as well as a go back information for accessibility. So this wireframe is about the customizations and the general information. So there's a new customization button. For accessibility, and there's a view for the previous customization for accessibility. There's also the accessibility for the go back and previous buttons, and the general information about Rolls-Royce. And there'll be two of these screens because there's a lot of information about Rolls-Royce. Here are the wireframes for the links in social media and the contact information. So there's the accessibility buttons and the links and the dealership information. Here's the plane engine information and the accessibility for this section of the app, and there's the car models as well as the accessibility go back button. So this is about the first part of the customization process. So here there's the car model selection, where you click on a button and it works out how much this car is going to cost you. Once again, there's the accessibility buttons at the bottom. So there's a color selection area using an RGB scale. And then this part here is the color that was picked by the user. This part here is the cost counter, and that next button is for accessibility. And this is the final part of the upgrades. So here's the extra upgrade screen, which has got a cost counter and all the drop downs for the different extra upgrades, as well as the accessibility buttons. And then it's also got the cost for each individual item as a sort of quote, and then the final cost price, as well as the accessibility button done at the bottom. This second last section is going to be about the video of the app with narration and a video of the code with narration. Hi everyone, so today I'll just be going through my Rolls-Royce app. So here's terms and conditions, and it's just the home screen. You can give your reason for downloading this app. So my reason is that I'm interested in Rolls-Royce cars. Let's continue. So there's two parts of this app. There's the information and customized part. So we'll look at the information part first. There's four parts. There's general information. There's information about Rolls-Royce here. There's the car models, plane engine models, and there's social media links, as well as dealership contact information. Now I'll do a customization of a new car. So I haven't created a customization yet, so I'll start a new one. So I like SUVs, so I'll go with the Cullinan. And this car's going to cost me $600,000. We'll continue. I want a silver car, so I already know that silver is 200, 200, 200, so I'll do 200, 200, 200 for all of the RGB settings to get a silver car. And because I've got three colors, it's going to cost me $300. So here is where I do the extra upgrades, so we can choose our platinum detailing, wheels, window tint, interior design, engine, or petrol or diesel. So we'll go for the ultra fancy for the platinum detailing. Got black spider For the wheels, window tint. Now I like following by the rules, so I'll probably go ultra dark, not illegal. Interior design, we'll go Black Badge Edition. Engine, we'll probably go V12. And petrol or diesel, we'll go diesel. Right, so now I want to calculate the price for these extra upgrades, so I'll press calculate price, and it tells me that this extra upgrades so far are going to cost me $34,700. So now look at the final quote. So here it's giving me a final quote about how much this car's going to cost me. So it's telling me the car's going to cost me $600,000, the car's going to cost me $300,000, the platinum detailing is going to cost me $2,500, the wheels are going to cost me $2,000, the windows are going to cost me $200,000, the interior is going to cost me $3,000, the engine is going to cost me $25,000, and the engine type is going to cost me $2,000. So it's giving me an overall price of this custom Rolls-Royce car, which is $635,000. Hey guys, so here I'll be doing an explanation of all my code. On this first line here, we have a set screen which sets the screen to the welcome screen to start off the app. Then for the next 60 lines of code, it's all on event UI controls for the transitions between different screens within the app. These UI controls are the crux of what makes this app function correctly. The next part of my app is where I've declared all of my variables for the cost prices within the customization options. Here I've created a function that resets all of the cost price variables back to 0. This is so that when the user wants to do a new customization, the price from their previous customization is cleared from the data. This code here is about the customizations. Here is the code for when you select the car model. What happens here is when the car's specific button is clicked, it adds the price to the car type cost variable. Depending on which car button is clicked, the code is run for each different one. In the Phantom, for example, I have first set the car type cost to 0. The reason that I first set it to 0 is so that if the user decides they want to change their option, the two prices of the different models don't get added together. The code then adds the cost of the car to the car type cost variable and sets the text to this car is going to cost you the car type cost, which in the case of the Phantom is $700,000. This next section of code is about the color of the car. For the code to run, the set color button needs to be clicked. When the set color button is clicked, the code gets the user information from the RGB text input areas. This input is going to be numbers from the RGB scale of 0 to 255. It gets the text from these RGB inputs and then sets the color of the car icon to the user's input. The code then runs if-else statements and Boolean expressions to determine how many colors you have used and therefore give you a cost price. So here on line 133, if 3 colors are greater than or equal to 1 are used, it will run this code. Here, it sets the variable color cost price back to 0 so that the prices don't add up when the user changes the color. Then it sets the variable to 300 and changes the text area to the price of the colors. It does this same code if you've selected 1 or 2 other colors. Now I'll talk about the extra upgrades code. To start this code, the drop-down needs to be changed. Then it runs the if statement where the code tests if the text in the drop-down is equal to the preset drop-down within the code. If this Boolean expression returns false, the code will test the rest of the if statements until it finds a Boolean expression that returns true. If this Boolean expression does return true, it will run this code. This code adds the price to the variable. These same steps are taken for the rest of the drop-downs. Once the computer has run all of the on-event if drop-down is changed code, it waits for the user to press the calculate price button. When this button is pressed, it runs a Boolean expression that adds up all of the costs of the extra upgrades and sets the extra upgrades cost variable to the added up price. It also sets the text area to the specified price. Now the code has to wait until the user clicks the final quote button. Once this button is clicked, the code then runs its final Boolean expression. Here, it adds up the car cost price variable, the color cost price variable, and the extra upgrades cost variable. To create a final price, it adds this price to the car customized price variable. Once this Boolean expression is run, it sets the text areas of each individual price for each customization option. The code then sets the final text area to this car will cost you plus the variable car customized price. In summary, The code relies on two key elements. The on event, so that the user can move around the app and not get stuck on a single screen. And it also relies on the drop-downs being changed, so they can run the if statements and boolean expressions, change the price of the variables, and sets the text areas, which gives the user their final quote. Section 4, Evaluate. In this section, we'll look at the evaluation of the success criteria and the conclusion. So the first success criteria was, has this app met the client's needs? When the client first asked for this app to be developed, they requested that it be an informational app with a customizing aspect to it. The app that I've developed achieves this, so therefore this success criteria has been fulfilled. Some improvements and recommendations that I could make to this are, instead of having to type the color, the user could instead select a preset color from a drop-down menu. And this app could also have a login page so that the client has more control over who uses this app. The second success criteria was, is this solution new and unique compared to other apps? There is currently no app where there is an informational and customizational aspect for a car company, so therefore this app is unique and new compared to other existing solutions. Instead of a Rolls-Royce, a different company could be instead used, one that doesn't or currently have an app, like Volvo or Honda for example. And the third and final success criteria was, is this an app that people will enjoy and keep coming back to? This is an app that people are interested in. This is an app that people interested in Rolls-Royces will install and enjoy, as it gives them a thorough insight into the world of Rolls-Royce. This app could also have a customization aspect for the plane engines, so that the airplane manufacturers could also make use of this app, meaning that it is used by more people. Thanks for watching my video about this app, and I really hope that you enjoyed. See you next time.